What's up, everyone? It's your girl from Love Unlocked. Okay, real talk. Ever wondered if he's really into you or just using you? Like, are those late-night texts a sign of true love or just a sign that his other options fell through? It's a jungle out there, and sometimes it feels like you need a secret decoder ring just to figure out what's going on in someone's head. Relationships can be confusing, messy, and sometimes straight-up heartbreaking. But here's the thing. You deserve clarity, you deserve respect, and you deserve a love that doesn't make you second-guess yourself every 5 minutes. That's why today we are diving deep into all the signs. I'm talking the good, the bad, and the girl you need to run right now ugly. We're going to break down the classic red flags that scream he's using you, and the beautiful green lights that signal true, genuine interest. We'll cover everything from emotional manipulation to the signs of pure, unadulterated love. This is basically your ultimate relationship survival guide, packed with everything you need to know to protect your heart and find the happiness you deserve. So grab your notebooks, get comfy, and maybe pour yourself a beverage of choice, because we're about to spill all the tea. Make sure you watch till the very end, because the last few points are crucial and could literally save you from a world of pain. I want you to leave this video feeling empowered, confident, and ready to spot a player from a mile away. Let's get into it. Alright, let's kick things off with the stuff we all dread but need to know. How can you tell if you're just a convenience? First up, the communication is all over the place. He's blowing up your phone 1 minute, making you feel like the center of the universe, and then BAM! Radio silence for days. He only seems to pop up when he's bored, lonely, or wants something. You'll notice his texts are usually late at night, like a "you up" message, but he's nowhere to be found when you try to make actual solid plans for, the daytime. It feels less like a relationship and more like you're his on-call entertainment service. Another huge sign is that he keeps you a secret. Think about it. Does he introduce you to his friends, his family? Or are you always meeting up in private, away from anyone who knows him? If he's avoiding integrating you into his life, it's a massive red flag. He doesn't see a future with you. He sees a temporary situation. He'll talk about his future, his dreams, his goals, but the word "we" is mysteriously absent from his vocabulary. You're not part of his long-term picture. He's all about the me, and you're just a footnote in his story, not a main character. Sometimes the signs aren't just about being used, they're about your fundamental well-being. The biggest red flag of all? Disrespect. This can be subtle, like little digs at your intelligence, your appearance, or your passions disguised as jokes. Or it can be more obvious, like him constantly interrupting you, dismissing your opinions, or making you feel small in front of others. A partner who doesn't respect your thoughts, feelings, and boundaries is not a partner. They're a bully. If you find yourself constantly defending your self-worth, it's time to go. Your peace of mind is non-negotiable. Another major sign it's time to leave is a complete lack of support. When you're excited about a new job or a personal achievement, is he your biggest cheerleader or your biggest critic? Does he celebrate your wins with you? Or does he find a way to bring you down or make it about himself? A healthy relationship is a partnership where both people lift each other up. If you feel like you're carrying the emotional weight for both of you, if he's never there for you during tough times but expects you to drop everything for him, you're not in a partnership. You're in a one-sided emotional service, and it's time to clock out, permanently. Okay, enough of the doom and gloom. Let's talk about the good stuff. How do you know when a guy is actually, for real, into you? One of the clearest signs is consistency. A guy who is genuinely interested won't play games. He'll text you back in a reasonable amount of time, not because he has to, but because he wants to talk to you. He'll make concrete plans, and he'll follow through with them. He'll want to see you on a Tuesday afternoon just as much as a Friday night. His effort doesn't fluctuate based on his mood or his options. It's steady because his interest in you is real and growing. He also makes an effort to get to know the real you. He doesn't just ask what's up, he asks about your day, your family, your weird childhood fear of butterflies. He remembers the little things you told him weeks ago. He's genuinely curious about your passions and supports your goals. You'll notice he listens, like really listens, when you talk. He's not just waiting for his turn to speak, he wants to understand what makes you tick. When a guy is investing his time and mental energy into learning about you beyond the surface level, that's a huge green light. Now let's flip the script. Fellas, are you trying to figure out if she's feeling you? Let's decode her signals. A girl who's interested will find excuses to be near you. She might happen to be in the same coffee shop, or she'll join a conversation your group is having. Pay attention to her body language. Is she facing you, making eye contact, maybe even playfully touching your arm when she laughs? These are classic signs of attraction. She's subconsciously closing the distance between you because she wants to be in your orbit. It's her way of opening the door for you to make a move. Another big tell is that she engages with you beyond just polite conversation. She'll laugh at your jokes, even the bad ones, bless her heart. She'll ask you follow-up questions, showing she's actually listening and wants to keep the conversation going. And check her social media activity. Is she liking your old pictures? Responding to your stories? It might seem small, but in today's world, that's a deliberate act of showing interest. She's taking time out of her day to interact with your life, and that's a pretty clear signal that she wants to be a bigger part of it. This is a tough one, but it's important. What are the signs that your girl might be unfaithful? A major shift in her behavior is the first red flag. For instance, her phone, which used to be left lying around, is now glued to her hand and always face down. She might suddenly become very private, changing her passwords or getting defensive if you even glance at her screen. This newfound secrecy is often a shield for conversations she doesn't want you to see. She might also start talking about a new friend a lot, often a male colleague or someone from her gym, but gets vague when you ask for details. Another warning sign is a change in your intimacy and her schedule. She might become distant physically, avoiding affection, or conversely, she might become overly affectionate out of guilt. You might also notice her schedule becoming unpredictable. She's suddenly working late all the time or has girls' nights that seem to happen more and more frequently, and her stories about them don't quite add up. If you're feeling a gut instinct that something is off, combined with these behavioral changes, it's time to have a serious, honest conversation. Don't ignore that feeling. Let's bring it back to the sweet, innocent beginnings. How can you tell if a boy, and I mean a boy, maybe someone a bit shy or younger, has a crush on you? It's all in the little, often awkward moments. He'll try to be a low-key hero. Did you drop your pen? He's the first one to dive for it. Feeling cold? He'll offer you his jacket even if he's shivering himself. These small acts of service are his way of showing he cares and wants to take care of you. He might not have the smooth lines down yet, but his actions scream that he wants to be your knight in shining armor. You'll also notice the classic look-away move. He'll stare at you from across the room, and the second you catch his eye, he'll whip his head away and pretend to be intensely interested in a wall. It's a mix of admiration and nervousness. He wants to look at you, but he's terrified of being caught. He'll also be a different person around you. He might be the loud, funny guy with his friends, but when you're nearby, he gets quiet and clumsy. Or, the quiet guy might suddenly try to show off. This change in behavior means you have an effect on him, and that's a huge sign of a crush. This one is the worst. Is he into you or your wallet? A major sign he's using you for money is that he always seems to be in a financial crisis that only you can solve. His car unexpectedly broke down, he's in between jobs, or he forgot his wallet every single time you go out. Notice the pattern. These aren't one-off emergencies. It's a constant stream of financial woes. He frames it in a way that makes you feel guilty if you don't help, painting himself as a victim of circumstance. He's a master of the sob story. Another clear indicator is the imbalance in your lifestyle. He loves to enjoy the finer things, nice dinners, vacations, shopping, but only when you're footing the bill. When it's his turn to pay, he suggests staying in and watching a movie. He has expensive taste, but only with your money. He rarely, if ever, reciprocates your generosity. A true partner wants to build a life with you, which includes financial teamwork. A user just wants to enjoy your resources. If conversations about money always end with you paying, you're not his partner, you're his sponsor. This can be a tricky one to navigate. How do you tell the difference between someone who is naturally charming and someone who is specifically flirting with you? The key is focus. A friendly person is warm and engaging with everyone. A flirt directs that energy specifically at you. He'll make prolonged eye contact, holding your gaze for a second longer than necessary. He'll find reasons to get physically close, maybe leaning in to tell you something or letting his hand brush against yours. It's about creating a little bubble of intimacy, just for the two of you. Playful teasing is another hallmark of flirting. He might gently make fun of your favorite cheesy movie or give you a silly nickname. It's never mean-spirited. It's light, fun, and designed to create a private joke between you. He'll also shower you with compliments, but they'll often be specific and personal. Instead of a generic "you look nice," he'll say, "That color brings out your eyes," or "I love the way you laugh." He's paying close attention to the details and he wants you to know it. This specificity is what elevates a comment from polite to flirtatious. This is one of the most damaging forms of being used because it messes with your head and your heart. An emotional user treats you like their personal therapist, but they're never there for you in return. He'll call you at all hours to vent about his problems, his ex, his bad day at work. You're his emotional dumping ground. You provide comfort, validation, and advice. But the moment you have a bad day and need a shoulder to cry on, he's suddenly busy, dismissive, or he'll turn the conversation back to himself. The support system is a one-way street, heading straight in his direction. Another sign is emotional manipulation, like gaslighting. He'll make you doubt your own feelings and perceptions. You'll bring up something that hurt you, and he'll twist it around, saying you're too sensitive, overreacting, or that you remembered it wrong. He creates a reality where he is never at fault, and you are always the one with the problem. He keeps you in a constant state of confusion and self-doubt, which makes you easier to control. He needs your emotional energy to feel stable, and he'll drain you dry without a second thought for your own well-being. Alright, let's get to the really good stuff. How do you know if it's crossed over from like to love? One of the most beautiful signs is that he makes your happiness a priority. This doesn't mean he's a doormat, but your well-being genuinely matters to him. He'll make small sacrifices for you without complaint, like watching your favorite rom-com even though he hates them, or bringing you soup when you're sick. He celebrates your successes as if they were his own. Your joy brings him joy. It's a selfless kind of care that goes beyond simple attraction. Another profound sign of love is that he's fully vulnerable with you. He's not afraid to show you his weaknesses, his fears, and his unpolished, messy side. He trusts you with the parts of himself that he hides from the rest of the world. He talks about a future and you are clearly, explicitly in it. He uses the word "we" naturally because he can't imagine his future without you. Love isn't about perfection. It's about seeing someone's imperfections and loving them even more for it. When he lets you see all of him, the good and the bad, that's love. Love can look different for everyone, but there are some universal signs that transcend personality and circumstance. The first is unwavering support. A person who loves you is your rock. They stand by you not just on the sunny days, but through the storms. They believe in you even when you stop believing in yourself. They challenge you to be better, not by criticizing you, but by encouraging your growth. It's a feeling of safety, knowing that no matter what happens, you have someone in your corner who will fight for you and with you. Another universal sign is deep mutual respect. This goes beyond just being polite. It's respecting each other's opinions, even when you disagree. It's respecting each other's boundaries, privacy, and individual needs. Love cannot thrive where there is no respect. And finally, it's the simple, consistent effort. It's the good morning texts, the inside jokes, the shared silence that feels comfortable, not awkward. Love is a verb. It's in the daily actions of showing up for each other, choosing each other again and again. It's the quiet, steady rhythm of a shared life. Some guys aren't after your money or your body. They're after your validation. A major sign he's using you for an ego boost is that he only shows you off when it benefits him. He might parade you around his friends to make them jealous, or to prove he can get a girl like you. He loves the public affection, the Instagram posts, the image of being in a relationship. But behind closed doors, he's distant and uninterested. You're a prop to enhance his social standing. He's more in love with the idea of you than he is with you as a person. He'll also fish for compliments constantly. He'll talk about his accomplishments, his looks, his successes, and wait for you to praise him. Your role in the relationship is to be his personal cheerleader. He feeds off your admiration. But notice that this is rarely reciprocated. He's not interested in boosting your ego or celebrating your wins. The conversation always circles back to him. If you feel like your primary function is to tell him how great he is, you're not his partner. You're his mirror, and he's just admiring his own reflection. This guy is kind of similar to the ego booster, but honestly, his needs are way more immediate. He's an attention addict, and, well, you're his favorite fix. You'll probably notice he only reaches out when he feels ignored by everyone else. Maybe he just had a fight with his friends, or he's having one of those boring nights. Suddenly, your phone is blowing up. He's super charming, super engaging, and he really makes you feel special. But as soon as something or someone more interesting comes along, he just disappears again. You end up being his backup plan for when he's not getting enough attention from his primary sources. Another sign is his behavior on social media versus real life. He might be all over your posts, leaving flirty comments and liking literally everything for the public to see. It totally gives the impression that he's super into you. But when you try to actually make plans to hang out, he's flaky and non-committal. He loves the attention he gets from being associated with you online. But he doesn't want to put in the real-world effort that a relationship requires. It's all performance, no substance. He wants an audience, not a partner. Okay, let's zoom out for a second and look at the overall pattern. When you put all the pieces together, the picture of a user becomes like crystal clear. The number one overarching sign is inconsistency. His behavior, his communication, and even his affection are a total roller coaster. There are these high highs that make you feel amazing, followed by low lows of silence and distance that leave you questioning everything. This hot and cold cycle is honestly designed to keep you hooked and off balance. A man who is serious about you will be consistent. The second big sign is that the relationship is always on his terms. You hang out when it's convenient for him, where it's convenient for him. The whole relationship revolves around his needs, his schedule, and his desires. Your needs are like an afterthought, if they're even a thought at all. You find yourself doing all the compromising, all the traveling, all the emotional labor. It just feels fundamentally unbalanced. If you constantly feel like you're giving 90% and he's only giving 10, it's not a partnership. He's not serious about you. He's just serious about what you can do for him. This one can be really painful to realize, honestly. How do you know if he's interested in your heart and mind or just your body? The most obvious sign is that your interactions are almost exclusively physical. He's not interested in going on actual dates in public. He doesn't want to meet your friends or have deep conversations. The plans always involve hanging out at his place or yours, usually late at night. He might say things like, "I'm not a big talker," or "I'm not looking for anything serious right now," just to manage your expectations. But his actions are all geared towards one thing. Another major sign is what happens after the physical intimacy. Does he cuddle and talk, or does he just roll over and go to sleep? Or honestly, even find an excuse to leave? A man who genuinely cares about you will want to connect with you after being intimate. It's a vulnerable moment, and he'll want to reinforce the emotional bond. But a man who's just using you for your body sees the act as the end goal. Once it's over, his interest just plummets. If he's quick to create distance, emotionally and physically, as soon as you've been intimate, it's a heartbreakingly clear sign that he's not there for a relationship. Wow, that was a lot, but hey, we made it through. We've covered the toxic red flags, the beautiful green lights, and honestly, everything in between. The most important takeaway from all of this is to trust your gut. Your intuition is your most powerful tool in the dating world. If a situation feels off, if someone consistently makes you feel confused, anxious, or undervalued, please listen to that feeling. It's seriously trying to protect you. If you recognize these signs, just remember, you deserve better. You deserve a love that is clear, kind, respectful, and consistent. Navigating relationships is tough, but you are tougher. You are worthy of a partner who celebrates you, supports you, and loves all of you, not just the parts that are convenient for them. Don't ever let anyone dim your light or make you question your worth. I really hope this video armed you with the knowledge to protect your amazing heart and to recognize the real deal when it comes along, because it will. You deserve a love story that makes you feel secure and cherished, not one that makes you feel like an option. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If this video helped you, please give it a huge thumbs up and hit that like button. Drop a comment below and share your own experiences or advice. Let's create a supportive community right here. And of course, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next deep dive into love and relationships. Take care of your heart and don't settle for less.